when you're alone, you can't deal with the hopelessness because it seems so overwhelming, because it's like looking yourself in the mirror. You don't realize you're aging until you look at a photo 20 years ago. Like, wow, I was good looking at one time. What the hell happened? But the same thing happens when you feel hopeless. You don't see the progress that you're making because it's drips and drabs. But when you have your support group, when you have your village, then it's enough of a lifeboat to get you through the days, right? To where you can see substantial change every 3 months. And then things start to come back, and then it gets exciting. And then, like, did you learn from this? Are you self-aware that if you head down that road again, you're going to produce exactly the same thing, maybe somewhere else, or maybe a different challenge, but you'll produce the same outcome. That you have done something in a way that causes wear and tear, that created a rupture. I don't want to relearn that. Maybe I'm wiser because of it. That's not, just because you choked me out doesn't mean that I need to be choked out every time and have to have this raspberry in my face. Maybe I could learn from that. Yeah.
You keep bringing up the team, and and then you asked me like what stuck with me in the tribe book, and it's the group. I mean, I believe in the group. I believe in the team because that's how I came up. That's how I learned Jiu Jitsu, and I believe in that for TACFIT. That's the way we grow and we evolve and really do our best, right? Be our best. And going back to the tribe book, he talks about people in war, and they're getting bombed and not sleeping and suffering and seeing their friends being blown up, and they come back home and it's safe here, right? There's no bombs, there's no people aren't not dying in front of them, but they want to go back into the battlefild because there's people right next to them in the bunks, and there's that human connection, there's
lost connection.
Yeah. And we can in LA here, it's 10 million people, something like that, but you can be all alone.
Yeah.
And by
right.
yourself. There's people everywhere, but everybody's just separate. You can be
alone
all by
in the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a TACFIT Academy or my jiu-jitsu gym, it helps. It helps. Like where you get the same bonding things happening that you get on the mat in jiu-jitsu in TACFIT.
I hope that we can export that concept. Right? It's not even about the TACFIT Academy or the jiu-jitsu gym. It's that is a petri dish where we learn to connect. And if we don't have a place to learn how to connect, it's really difficult to learn how to connect, especially when you meet a stranger and meet a stranger and meet a stranger. I mean, my favorite thing now is I travel, so I get 2-minute relationships. I meet somebody at the front desk at the Delta Lounge, and I'm like, hey, how are you doing today? And they look up like, holy cow, he's really talking to me. He's like eye to eye engaged. He's actually gives a damn. Like, what's going on? And then a dialogue occurs, and they ask how you're doing, and that connection, it could mean that person's day, and it makes my day. Like, I feel better and more connected. But I learned that in a petri dish. I learned that through our village, and it's funny. Like the police and the firefighters are two different tribes that became a village. What you've done with jiu-jitsu and TACFIT is very much like that. Right, except not competitive with each other. So when you bring two tribes together, there's accelerated learning, because you see, look, this happens over here and here, and when you see it in two different places, then you realize it's a formula. This is how I can be with everybody. And then you go to visit a new community, and you realize this is another tribe. I hope they can come into my village. I hope I can expand my circle. I hope they can pick up the club bell for them, the proverbial club bell, not the real club bell. But that's it, right?
Yeah. TACFIT's for everyone. Like, I go back to my days like living in Brazil, and I think it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm always going to call it Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because of my time living in Brazil and really connecting, and like a lot of my old friends, like they're from those days. It's super interesting, and it really helped me. Really helped me in my life. Like, my dad wasn't around when I was a kid, and it really gave me a lot of confidence, and allowed me or gave me the bonds. With like different guys, and it sounded all like weird, but it really helped me in my life, really grounded me. And I was already an adult. I was 18, but it really formed me as a man. And I feel like laid the foundation for me to really go after to be my best, for success, to be happy, so I'm always super grateful, and going back to that tribe and the team, I really believe in it. And there
was this great guy named Ben that I was on the U.S. team with, the first U.S. team I was on, and we were getting ready for World University Games that 1993, and we went to college together. We were in the same dorm floor, and I was rapping on his door at 4 a.m., and he opens the door all bleary-eyed, and he's like, Sonnon, what do you want? I'm like, dude, this is all going to end. Like, this is all going to end. Let it's Saturday. Let's go do something. Because one day you and I aren't going to be connected like we are now. We're going to move on. Like, let's go do something. And I know I was a bit of a whack job back then, but it was the first time that I really realized that, because I hadn't had it as a kid. I had one friend, and he passed away. I had one friend. When I had a team, it changed my life, and I felt included. I felt like this is synergistic. There's something bigger than the sum of these parts, and from each team, from each community that I was exposed to, I saw that. And how do we do this? How do we create an intentional village? How do we create mutual support?